Hi, Ty.
Hello, Lynn.
Hello.
How's it
Um,
going?
yes, welcome everyone to our 12th episode of Yuntaku Live by the Hawaii United Okinawa Association. We are your hosts. My name is Lynne Miyahira, this year's president of the Hawaii United Okinawa Association, and DJ, also, well, I'd call him DJ, sorry, David Jones.
It's okay, David Jones. I'm here at the Okinawa Center,
Yes.
broadcasting from there. How's it
Very
going?
good. Very good. Yeah, no, it's another Tuesday. Here we are at the end of June. Who knew we were going to be here at the end of June? When we started this back
Seriously.
in April, it was literally just an idea. Hey, let's try it out and see what we can do. And I think it's been a great experiment. And I've had um, people come up to me and say, this is probably one of the best things that we've ever been able to come up with in such a short period of time. So
And it's
thank you.
definitely been a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
see Jean Oshiro. I swear this, but I swear she's the first person to comment each and every time.
Every time,
Janine
Janine
in the house.
in the house. All right.
Thank you for always tuning in, Janine.
Yes. Kalihi and Linda Kamihara, always there, her Andagi posse. And we got Mie Komashigawa. Thank you guys for everyone, for
Thank you so much.
our loyal followers. And I think many of them are on Facebook. We also have a YouTube page that we actually started this YouTube page, a new YouTube page in January of 2020, not realizing how vital it would be this year in sharing our content with the rest of the community. And so right now, as of today, we are at 443 subscribers. Help us get to 500 by the end of the month. So tell all your friends, tell your neighbors, family, friends, coworkers to join us. So you got to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and we want to get to 1,000 subscribers hopefully by next month. So we really got to step up our game a little bit. So help us get the word out.
Please, please, please. And then also, please comment. We really appreciate your comments. We try to engage, try to get in the habit of engaging with the audience as much as possible. So please comment. Let us know where you're from. If you like something, let us know, and we'll patch you in and make a discussion out of it. Yeah.
Yep. We also want to encourage everyone to donate. If you go to our HUOA.org website and click donate in the right-hand button, you can see an easy way where you can do it online. You don't need a PayPal account. It will take you to PayPal, but you don't need a PayPal account. You can donate with any credit card or debit card. And we really appreciate anything you can, $5, $10, whatever your heart desires. We understand that these are tough times for everyone right now, and not everyone is in a position to give right now. But if you are, we definitely appreciate it. And our organization, like many organizations around the world right now, are really hurting, and the future is unclear. So whatever we can do, this organization, of course, is near and dear to our hearts, and so we want to make sure that we see it survive into the future. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, I'm Lynn. I'm very excited to introduce our guests for tonight, and I'm sure, I mean, they are near and dear to our heart, but especially for you,
Yes.
near and dear to your heart, right?
So I'm excited that we have the Hooge Ryu Hana Nuuzi no Kai, Nakasone Dance Academy. They are my dance studio that I joined back when I was 6 years old in 1980, maybe 1987. Yeah.
Wow.
And I took dance with them all throughout my childhood and through high school. And so I really credit the Nakasone Dance Academy with building the basis of my Okinawan cultural understanding. And Lynne Yoshiko Nakasone, since I spent every Saturday with her for like 15 years. So, and all of the people we're interviewing today, they've all got a tug at this hair and all, the makeup and the kimono and everything. So this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, like you said. Thank you.
And we're very excited to bring on the show now from Nakasone Dance Academy. Live, we have Julia Okamura, Shihan. We also have Lisa Nakandakari, Shihan, and Keith Oshiro, Shihan, and then Linda Asato Kyoshi, all sensei. So let's bring him onto the show.
They still make me nervous.
Hi.
Hello.
Konbanwa. Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Thank you. Hey.
早することでげさびら。
Hey. Like I said, you guys still make me nervous when I show it again. But really, it is such a joy to have all of you here. Such a privilege, and I think today we're really going to get a glimpse of like the world-class talent we have in front of us. Look at them now.
Absolutely.
And we have really such wonderful, the depth and breadth of the talent we have here today is just exciting.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's been such a fixture in this Hawaii community for so many years. Yeah, so many years in the Hawaii Okinawan community. So very excited to have you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Kimono, of course, are so beautiful. It's so classic Okinawan designs we have there today. Okay, so I guess we wanted to really give us a brief history, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about Grandmaster Nakasone, Lynne Yoshiko Nakasone, and the history of Nakasone Dance Academy.
My mother immigrated with me after getting married. She came to Hawaii in 1955 and started at the dance academy at 1956. I remember she, I wasn't born then, but then she repeatedly told me the story where her first students were the Takara family who lived in Kaimuki, Ethel Takara, Caroline Takara, and Amy Takara. Now they're still actually active students in our studio, but at that time we lived in a very small apartment. So instead of having them over to our apartment, she used to drive to their house and teach.
She made house calls.
Yeah, she made house calls back then. To their house to teach her three students, and then she would go to HUOA to teach in HUOA. So they did a lot of commuting and outreach all over Oahu, right? Hawaii. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, basically she started with just a few handful of students, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And Keith Sensei was one of our first students as well.
I'm one of the oldest.
Very loyal to our dance academy, and without Keith Sensei, like he was one foot and one head, between, and we lost Claudia Higa a while back, but she was a fixture in our studio.
Actually, she was among the first of Sensei's students,
The Mine family.
She and her three sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great family photo too. So maybe Julia, you can tell us about who everyone is. It's for people, it's hard to tell you guys apart. Tell us about the family history behind this photo.
Well, when Lisa and I had our daughters dancing, we thought was 3 generations, but we had 2 more additions, so this was even better. So if you're looking at the photo, on the left is my daughter Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently got married, so her name is Kelsey Benton, and then I'm the next one. Am I doing this correctly? I'll go through the back. So Sensei is in the middle. Next to Sensei is Lisa's daughter.
No,
Lisa.
Me.
That's Lisa.
Okay, sorry. Lisa, my sister. Then her daughter, and her daughter's name is Joanna.
She got married
Arakaki.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And then in the front of my mother, on the left side is Zachary, who is our nephew, and Casey Nakasone. And they're brother and sisters. So they're the newest additions. But they're not that little anymore.
Yeah.
When this photo was taken, this was taken at one of our recitals. And it was very special. So Mr. Nakasone, they danced Kajarifu, but it was entitled Miyuno Hanabana, which means 3 generations of beautiful flowers.
Wow.
It's very beautiful.
That is amazing. Yes, I know. Even just to see it grow, I remember it's kind of a big deal when I guess Kelsey and Joanna were dancing, because that was the generation, right? And they're, I guess I would say, my contemporaries. And so just to see it continue to grow is great. Is really, really heartwarming.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in general, maybe I think Linda too. Could you tell us your journey with the Nakasone Dance Academy and when that started?
So for me, the Ishikawa family, that's my mom and my dad, Kazuo Ishikawa and Emiko. My dad plays Okinawan Shanshin.
Mm-hmm.
My mom sings. So that's my beginnings because we grew up, Judy and I and Joanne have grew up in the same, that way of life, dancing and Okinawan music. So we heard it as we were growing up, and then my parents wanted us to take dancing, so they came to Nakasone Sensei, and I feel so grateful and fortunate that they picked this studio because I'm so proud of the studio that I'm at.
And you also dance with us as well.
Yes, that's right. She did start dancing with us too. So that was nice.
So their family is also 3 generations.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Sisters and then
my children.
Yes.
Yeah. So my children will dance till they're 18.
Yeah. They're in
Yeah,
one is in the mainland now. And
Yes.
Yeah.
and Judy's 2 children are now students. And you'll see them dance this evening.
Oh, very excited. And I know we're going to be talking a little bit more to Linda. I'm very interested in getting back to the history of Nakasone Dance Academy because we could probably talk about this entire show and the history because been with our community for so long. But so after Wahiwa, what was the journey for Nakasone Dance Academy after?
As the studio grew, she went also taught in Maui. She used to go once a month to Maui. She had about between 10 and 15 students. I think it was because her idea of perpetuating this culture is so strong, or her feelings of perpetuating the culture was so strong that, like Linda just said, it was her mom that was teaching the father, and herself, and now her kids, and so forth. And so we welcome all the entire family to learn from young siblings to older ones. In fact, I remember my first student was her youngest sister, Joanne, because Joanne used to come to dance practice with Linda and Judy, but they were already dancing, and Joanne was like 3 or 4, just sitting on the side. So I just pulled her to our living room and I started teaching her Ryu Hana. And so, that's how I got to start teaching as well. And so, yeah.
But I also think that, how my mom used to go from place to place to teach. And then she would have some classes, I guess, if there were only 1 or 2 students in the living room of where she was renting an apartment. But I think they found that necessity to kind of centralize so that people would come to the studio. And so they bought a house. And I know this because it was when I was born back in the 60s. So when I look at the deed, I go, hey, that's when I was born. But in the 60s, they bought a house that was small as a house, but big in lot. And knowing that there was a need for a studio, they built an extension-like studio. And that was the first house that we had that we actually had a studio. So people started to come to our house. And about 20 years ago, we actually had to knock the whole thing down and renovate again. So now we have like a newer house and studio that we use. But yeah, there was a need to have one place for everyone to come rather than to do the traveling.
When I was back long ago, when I was in college, Sensei had shared that before she left Okinawa, knowing that she was coming to Hawaii, her dance instructor, Kin Ryosho Sensei, told her it's important that she comes to Hawaii and perpetuate the Okinawan culture here. And that has been behind what we've been doing all this time, from the very first start till today. And hopefully we'll be able to carry over, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that that's specifically something that he had said to her. That's profound. Yeah. No wonder it's been something, I'm sure, that drives her, every day.
Which is why Sensei is so very strict as to how we present things.
Yes.
Definitely, it's very important. And how big is the club now?
Offhand, is it offhand? What is it? About
Maybe
50,
60,
about
60.
50 or 60, depending on, yeah.
Yeah. I know, like,
You know, it's really interesting where we have some students that take a break, you know, good after they graduate from college, they go on, have kids, and then they come back.
yeah.
I have a student that, like Ethel and Amy, you know, they took a 30-year break and then they're back in and learning again. And that's my mom's first students, and they're back. And Ethel is 80 years old, but she's still dancing with us.
Yeah.
I can name many people like that. Take a 15-year break, have 3 kids, and come back. You know, then the Hirokawa. In fact, I'm going to start someone this Friday who has taken a substantial break. She asked to come back to dance, and I said we welcome them back. You know, everybody has their period in life where they have to, you know, raise a family or
Go off to college.
yeah, go off to college, and when they're ready to come back, we welcome them back.
Okay. Okay. So I got the message.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times it's not just a 30-year break and they have nothing to do with the studio. Like Ethel, she stopped coming, she started raising her family, then she brought her children to learn.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then they graduated high school, they went off to college, and then years later she returned.
Yeah, there's some kind of yearning right inside that you just want to come. There's something, like when you hear the music, it's that sense of like,
Right.
I think it's something very special that is ingrained in many of us. So, and even if for those of you, I'm sure you guys have people who, not just coming back, but have never taken dance before, right? And come much later in life and just, there's something you want to start. Yeah. That's exciting.
Lynn, Jean says, Lynn, you still have a chance.
Yeah, you're never too old.
No.
Yes, yeah, never too old, never too old. You can take a 30-year break and still come back. Okay, got it. Well, this is a beautiful photo too. This is kind of how I remember.
You notice Julia's kimono, she's wearing the same one.
It wasn't planned.
She's wearing the same one as like 30 years ago.
Oh, no way.
Anyway, so my body hasn't changed too much.
Yeah. But this is how I clearly remember Julia and Lisa and Joanna and Kelsey too. It's about the same age that I started dancing. So
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful pictures.
They're beautiful.
Now, Nakasone Dance Academy has been awarded, numerous awards. We could have probably a whole page and more. But one of the biggest award I know that you've received as a group or Grandmaster Nakasone Sensei has received is the NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts National Heritage Fellow. And we'd love to hear more about it because from my understanding, this is equates to or comparable to the National Living Treasure that's in Japan. And so it's one of the best or one of the top awards you could get for cultural arts. So we'd love to hear more about this.
Yeah, actually, I just have a small story. I don't know if people know about this, but we were planning for our recital 2012, and my parents usually go to Neil Blaisdell to sign papers, but a year prior to that, they went and they penciled in a date for us, and that was this first week in October. And then when the years opened up, then they went back to actually pay a deposit and sign the contract. But when they went back, they said that, so sorry, mainland company was coming, so they had to bump us. So the original plan for the first week of October, my father calls me and he said, what should I do? Should I set our date in September or late October? I said, take October because there's always a festival. There's so many things happening in September. We don't want to clash with that. Let's go in October. So we changed it to October 20th of that year. And that was, so January, they signed the paper. And in June, my father calls me at work and says, I got this phone call from someone from Washington, D.C., but I didn't understand. Can you call them back? So I said, okay, when I called them back, they had given me this information. about my mother receiving this award, and they wanted us to fly up there. And that was the exact dates of the first week of October. They said that we had to be there for performance. And then the date of the recital was the date where she actually went for this, the picture is this receipt of this award. And I thought, oh my gosh, had we, signed those papers for that particular week, we would have been in big trouble. So I just was like thanking every single deity that you can figure, Jesus Christ and God and our ancestors for helping us out on this one. But we really had a great, great, great time. They also asked us to bring live musicians. So we asked Grand Sensei, Kenten Sensei, Jun Sensei, and Yasuko Arakawa Sensei of Akinokai to please come with us. And they did. So we have pictures of that. And we had a really good time.
Wow.
Yes, it's the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Heritage Fellow. It is a world-class top honor in the United States for cultural practitioners, right? I think is the...
Thank you. And I think she was the first Asian person to receive this award.
Wow.
Yeah, and the only Okinawan dance. I mean, Nakasone Seisho Sensei received it for music. I think 10 years prior to her, but I believe I read something about that.
Yeah, it is absolutely a huge honor with huge, prestige. And every time I've mentioned this to other people and they're just like, wait, the National Endowment of the Arts? And I said, yes, that one.
That was really a thrill. Yeah.
Yeah. This was 2012, I believe?
2012, yes.
2012, wow.
What a special.
It was very, very special. And during the ceremony, just to let you know, they went alphabetically to give the award, and they skipped over my mom. So we were like, what's happening? What's going on? And then she was at the very end. So we said, how come she's at the end? Because they were doing it alphabetically. And in walks Senator Inoue. They were waiting for him to come to present the award to her. And it was so special. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was so really neat because there were so many different artists, basket weavers and other gospel singers, other people that we met. It's just unbelievable. But they were so surprised that Sensei, her stature of 4'10" or maybe now 4'8". But she was so tiny and she hardly spoke and hardly said anything. And they were just so wowed that when she went on stage, it was like, they understood. Whereas for them, they were, groups of people, and they were really talkative and outgoing, and we got to know them well. But when they saw her and they thought, oh, this quiet little old lady from Hawaii. But then I guess, when she went on stage, they understood. So that was nice.
Oh, I mean, it was a huge moment of pride, I think, for all of us in the Okinawan community. I think it was a real testament and acknowledgement of the stature and level of and recognition of the Okinawan culture as something to be elevated at a national level. And I think that's the honor and prestige that it brought. So I'm really, really, I love this photo, and to show you guys in DC, it makes me so happy. It makes me so proud,
Actually, I also want to say that without my father's support, this would never have happened.
Yeah.
He was her number one support and still is. And he taught us so much. We lost him recently, so it's really hard to talk about him, but he has taught us so much during his lifetime. He's taught us tradition. He's taught us how to respect people. He's taught us about the dance, meanings of the dances. He's taught us about protocol, about the Okinawan Geinokai. And without his support, she would not have gone this far in life.
Well, thank you for sharing. I know behind every successful person, Mr. Nakasone has been there truly as kind of the rock. And I think he was for many of us in the community, the person we went to ask for advice, especially when it came to protocols, right? And language meaning behind the songs, like you said. So when we did lose him last year, it was very much so a blow, to of course to Nakasone Dance Academy as a whole, but in the community in general, we did lose a treasure.
Yeah,
so I was happy to see
him every day.
Mhm. Thank you so much for sharing him with us.
Thank you very much. And let's see, we have a short video that we would like to present yet. So this was the performance that Nakasone Sensei did at the while accepting the award, correct?
This is the performance that all of the recipients, we had to do a concert, and then the following day she accepted the award. But yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this video, because I know a lot of people from Hawaii weren't able to travel up for the ceremony. So I think this is going to be a first for many people to see.
Absolutely. Okay, one moment.
Ah
Thank you, everybody.
Who was that woman with the beard out here? How long have you been dancing?
So 73 years or more.
Or more. Whoa. Now, you've been a teacher over the years. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, maybe you ought to wrestle for this one, because I wanted to ask you, what goes through your mind when you see your daughters dancing with you? How do you feel about your daughters dancing?
Oh, she well, done good. And I feel so happy today together can dance on this stage. She will continue, and she going to teach another generation and another generation.
That is special.
Wow, sugoi, sugoi.
Oh, I think that was wonderful. I think to see her chikara ne, strength up on stage is just it makes the rest of us feel like, hey, we have to ganbaru shanai ne. We have no reason to feel tired or like we cannot, because look how many 73 years, and that was back in 2012. So
yeah, 8 years ago. So. 81 years.
Holy cow.
That's
And yeah,
amazing.
thank you to all the I'm glad we got to hear some of the jikata. I'm sure that some of the first time many of the people in the audience have ever heard Okinawan music, let alone live Okinawan music, and I think that's just amazing. So
All right. So well, actually, first of all, let me share some. I've seen a lot of amazing comments coming through. So I just like to share a whole few. So this is from 1945 Bozo. I don't know what the name is. It's bring back fun memories at my grandmother's and grandfather at home at Rook Avenue. And then we also have from Shinka, Hawaii. They said, Shinka in the house, so happy to hear this story about Nakasone sensei. She truly is a living treasure. And also from Todd Kobashigawa, my sister used to dance with Nakasone sensei 18 plus years ago, and I would go and wait outside and talk to uncle and help him with the orchids. I didn't know he passed away, but I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you very much for sharing, Todd. All right. Let's see. So not only did Sensei Grandmaster Lynne Sensei win was awarded the fellow, she was also awarded the Kyokujitsu Soko Sho.
Right.
Would you mind explaining, because it's also a very special award. We'd love to hear more about this.
Actually, about a year after she got the 2012 NEA award, I got a phone call from the Consul General's office, and the late this person's name was Matsuoka Yoshiko-san. And she said that they wanted to submit an application for a kunsho. Kun means kuni, and sho is award. And once they submitted, they didn't know what she would get or if she would even receive an award, but they wanted to submit an application, and that they needed some information or verification of information. And for me, luckily, I had been working on the program booklets for the recital, and I had her bio and I had her dancing history, and that's what they needed. And they also needed, to verify the different awards. On the bio, it gives, she got this, she got that, and I needed to send to her photos of those awards or website links so that they could verify each claim that her bio had. And so I was working with this Matsuoka-san to give her the information, and actually the Consul General's office submitted that application. So I'm not sure what the application process is and what kind of questions they asked, but they went, they knew a lot about her. Actually, they told me that her registry she went to Saga, she lived in Saga, and I think they do background checks and all of that. They did the rest of the other side, her living in Japan information. They were able to do it through the different, I guess the Consul General's office had that information. I had to verify what she did here in Hawaii and what kind of awards and how long she was teaching and so forth. And so pictures of previous recitals, that sort of things was all in my computer already, because I've been keeping a catalog of that. So it wasn't too difficult to send emails of that. But and then about a year later, they actually called and said that she had, received this kyoku. This is called the Order of the Rising Sun, Silver and Gold Rays. That they asked us, do you want to have it presented here in Hawaii at the consulate, or do you want to fly over to Tokyo? And my parents insisted on flying to Tokyo at their own expense, but it was such a great honor. And so they went to Tokyo to receive it.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And just to let the viewers know about this award, so this is one of the most highest award that a citizen of Japan or a non-citizen can receive. And so it's called, again, the Order of the Rising Sun, Gold and Silver Rays, for her contributions to the perpetuation of Okinawan culture in Hawaii. The award is one of the highest honors a Japanese citizen or non-citizen can receive from the Emperor of Japan. And again, such a tremendous award. And only a handful of Hawaii residents receive this award each year. So another a tremendous award. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow. And Lisa, that catalog of folders of pictures, that must be massive. Given how long the club's been active. I'd love to see that catalog someday.
We gotta make sure Julia's been finding these old pictures. You know, she's been doing a lot of house cleaning, and these old pictures are coming up, and we just have to laugh at some of them. But yeah,
we got to make sure we digitize a lot of this stuff too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Keep going for the future, and just in case, we we can share it with the world like this. So
yes, please
Thank
do.
you.
Okay.
So I believe senses will be doing your first performance.
Right.
Ayakari Bushi.
Yeah.
Would you mind explaining a little bit about Ayakari Bushi?
Sure. Ayakari or ayakaru is when you ask an elder person to bestow upon you their wisdom, good fortune, long life, and happiness, so you can live a happy and prosperous life as theirs. This is a dance of respect for the elders and is the foundation of our Uchinanchu culture. Ayakari was choreographed by Grandmaster Lynne Yoshiko Nakasone. And our Shihang will be performing Ayakari for you.
Thank you very much for the beautiful explanation, and I know our audience truly appreciate knowing the meaning of the song. So thank you for giving us that explanation. Well, now I know you have to get prepared, and so I'm just going to take you offline for a little bit, and then give a little quick update, and then we'll bring back Ayakari Bushi. Thank you.
Hey.
Wow, I'm blown away, Lynne.
Yeah, caliber of talent that we have here. It almost makes me feel bad that she was teaching us, rascal kids back in the day. But I really do, and I know there's many people like me who attribute our Okinawan kind of the foundation of my understanding of my Okinawan heritage is I credit Lynne Yoshiko Nakasone sensei with. So I love to see comments like that. We have Luke Shinsato here. He said, "Hi, watching with mom and grandma. Awesome to see everyone doing so good." That's to me really what this Yuntaku Live is all about. It's a lot of our younger generation is stepping up, sharing it. It's not easy to get some of our, help grandma get on YouTube and watch our videos. And I know that we span different generations, and this is truly exactly what I'm hoping for, that more of our young people can help their parents and their grandparents and their aunties and uncles all share this with them. So
good to hear from you, Luke. Hope everything is well. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I believe they are ready. So we will go with Ayakari Bushi. Wow,
Very
wow,
good.
beautiful dancing. Love it.
Ayakari Bushi. Ne?
Ayakari Bushi da ne. So
Yeah.
they're getting ready right now to get back to the interview, but I want to share something real quick. I stumbled upon by surprise. And so I was watching so Hulu. Apparently you get Hulu. I didn't know we get Hulu. But apparently if you subscribe to Hulu or if you subscribe to Spotify, you get a free subscription to Hulu.
Oh.
And so I was watching a show called Taste the Nation with Padma Lakshmi. So if you know Padma, for those who watch Top Chef or follow Top Chef, she's one of the hosts for that show. So she has this new show. It has 10 seasons. It just came out, I believe, last week. And the number 10 episode features Honolulu. So it's all about Honolulu. And it's actually, they did a great job of putting the show together because not only did they feature about the food culture in Honolulu, but they also go she also goes into talking about the history, and within the show, she talked a lot about how Japanese immigrated, how the Japanese immigrated to Hawaii. And that's how a lot of Japanese culture and food kind of got infused with kind of our local Hawaii culture now. It's a very awesome watch, and they go into they go into some of the smaller, well-known but smaller venues, and one of them happens to be Tamashiro Market.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for those who don't know, so Cyrus Tamashiro is a former president of HUOA back in 2012, I believe, and a co-owner of Tamashiro Market. Unfortunately, he's not on the show, but his brother Guy Tamashiro is on the show and goes into depth about poke. So for those of you who know or who don't know, they have some of the best poke that you can get. So if you want to see them, want to see some great show, I highly recommend it. It's called Taste the Nation with Padma Lakshmi, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Again, it's on Hulu, and and you can watch it anytime. So highly recommend for those who subscribe. If not, then maybe subscribe to Spotify. Yeah?
Or maybe there's other ways you can watch it on YouTube. Who knows? Yeah. All right.
So I think Julia Sensei is ready. So let's bring her back online.
Right.
Hi.
Hello, Julia Sensei.
Oh.
How's it going?
Part short, right?
Real quick, I want to share a quick message from Laura Shinsato. She says, "Greetings from Arizona. Thank you for putting this together. My family and I grew up with Okinawan culture, and thanks to Nakasone Sensei, it is amazing to hear about how everybody is doing, how everyone is doing." Yeah? Thank you, Laura, all the way from Arizona.
All right.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Julia, for joining us. For those of you, Julia is number 2 daughter, Jijo desu ne. Of Nakasone Sensei. So tell us a little bit about your experience growing up. I know, I'm sure it's very similar to how Lisa had described, and also having Kelsey, your daughter, dance as well.
For me, growing up, and it's in a good way. It just happened. It was expected, but it's not in a bad way that I had to. I think when I was growing up, and the one thing that was kind of unique is in our area, because we lived in Liliha, but in that Nu'uanu, Aleva, Pu'unui, Kalihi area, there are a lot of, everybody seemed to be living somewhere in that area. Shinsato Sensei, my Koto Sensei was Kiabu Sensei, and just everybody was in that area. So what was really nice was, because my mom had built that studio, it was often that they would come over, and sometimes to do a formal practice if there was a performance, but sometimes it was just to get together, and it was frequently on a Friday night, and they would come and they would, talk story, but it always ended up with songs and dances. And that one group that, everybody has a dance time. So the one group that came for lessons on Friday, they often had live music to practice to, which or the senseis would come because they were waiting for the coffee hour, right? So they would all be there, and sometimes they had live music, which is, we don't do that anymore. We have, either CDs or tapes. But so that was Friday night for us, and then of course, that wasn't just Friday night. After all, it was like this. It became like Saturdays on the weekends, and just being around those senseis and hearing them play and hearing them talk story, it just became part of our life. So it's not a hobby where I said, "Oh, I want to take piano," it just became.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, like Linda said.
Truly, yeah.
Truly. So beautiful, beautiful costumes. Oftentimes we see both you and Lisa on stage, but I always love you get some to wear some of the most beautiful costumes I've seen.
We do have quite a lot, and yeah, we take pride in making sure that everything is special.
Yeah,
including the costume and the makeup, everything.
Thank you for sharing all these photos with us too.
And I love your model. This was also published on the Legacy, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But it says, "Do something, be somebody, make a difference in our world.
That's an awesome model. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
know, and
also-
even raising my kids, I don't want them to exist. I said, you got to do something. Take, you know, especially sometimes in the world, there's so much negative energy, you know, with things going on, disasters and all these unfortunate things. And you know, my daughters, oh, you know, on Facebook, they said this and there's all this commotion going on. I told her, if everyone just took that negative energy and did something positive with it, you know, and I always told my daughter, I started dancing because back in the days when we would dance, you look into the audience and you see the people clapping along, you know, especially the obachang or jichang, and they're smiling. And I said, that's what motivated me, because if I can make somebody happy out there, you know, even if it's for just a moment, that would be my something that I did. And so I always tell my daughter that, you know, like look in the audience and see what you see, because you're making somebody out there happy, or, you know, you're inspiring somebody that's copying you who's dancing, a little child or something. So yeah. So
I love that, because I know that's what we're doing with this show too. I think we're bringing joy, little, you know, more
during
souls.
a very difficult time.
Yeah, just the talk story part of this, I think, is what we don't get to hear. So, like Janine had talked about, the beauty of this Yuntaku is a lot of people are learning for the first time the stories behind the dances that they've heard before but never knew what they meant. So.
And this picture, I believe you're both in New York City.
Yes,
that's
this
for
was exciting, and thank goodness it was last year.
It
wouldn't have been able to go, but
Oh,
it was Terukina Sensei's dream to perform at Carnegie Hall, and for his 88th birthday. But Kenton put it together, and of course, we're always really good friends with the Ryu Sensei. So I also take shamisen. So I take something from Grant Murata Sensei. But it was just exciting. We went there, and you know, the concept of Carnegie Hall, and people there treated us like, wow, you know, you made it when you can go to Carnegie Hall. You know, and they treated us that way, you know, like real professionals. So it was an exciting time for us.
That is amazing. Well,
And then we have the family over here too.
There we go.
Yeah, that one we snuck in that picture because I am a grandma.
Congratulations.
But yeah, over the two boys in that picture, that's my daughter-in-law. Of course, you know, my family, my sister, my nieces, my daughter, my nephew, and then we endearingly call them J1 and J2, but that's Jace and Jake, and my daughter-in-law Michelle. Yeah, who's also involved in Okinawan things too, her family.
Yeah. So wonderful. Well, I have it written here that it says you retired.
I did, and just in time, right? Because I'm so technologically challenged that I don't think I can make it through this year, you know, with all the distance learning. But yeah, I did, and it gives me more time to spend with my family, my mom, and at that time, my dad.
Yeah, well, that's so special. Thank you so much for sharing your family with us. I think this is exciting to see, you know, and it's just such an awesome picture.
Thank you.
Now, I believe we have Linda Asato also joining us.
Okay, Linda.
Linda-san. Thank you, Julia Sensei.
Thank you, Julia Sensei. Yes. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for joining us today. I thought we have some beautiful photos of you too. This is probably from one of our recitals, but tell us a little bit about how you had, I know you had mentioned it earlier in the show, but a little bit about how you started dance and your whole family history kind of with Okinawan dance.
My family is very much involved, starting with my parents. And, you know, in the beginning when we used to have to go to class every Sundays, as teenagers, like, oh, I got to go to class again. We kind of you know, spend time with our friends or anything like that. But then after a while, when you started, you know, growing up, we really, especially now, I really appreciate that they had Okinawan culture instilled in us with dancing.
Yeah.
So even with this, I do Okinawan dancing, bon dance, right? So I'm very much involved with Okinawan bon dance in the bon dance side. So
I know it's one of the things this year that we're all really missing right now. It's supposed to be bon dance season right now. So
yes. And yeah, so in my family, I have my sisters. We all took dance lessons from Nakasone Sensei.
right.
And and then from
Oh,
there,
yeah, your
Judy
sister.
and I
Sorry.
have our children. Yeah, so that's Judy. Judy is my sister, and those are her two children that you're gonna
Wow.
be able to see them dance next.
Yep.
Excited.
It's the next generation, right? We're all
Yes.
DJ and I are realizing, when we talked to Chinago last year, we are not the young ones anymore, for sure. Wow. But it's so great to see the next ones coming up and learning. And then,
And those are my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's truly a family affair. Yeah?
My dad has been playing sanshin for a long, long time.
Yeah.
He used to be our jikata before Grand Sensei, folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's one thing. There's many different aspects, right? It's not just dance. It's the music and the jikata and everything that it kind of brings around it, and all the different instruments that you would need for specific dances and songs and the kimono and everything. Just there's so many different aspects that come together for one, like a performance. So thank you so much.
So I'd like to say too that we really appreciate the Yuntaku Live, because my parents, they see it every Tuesday night. I always have to put it on. They remember every Tuesday night.
Oh, that's good. They
watch it.
That's awesome.
Especially, with people like my parents, they really, really appreciate. They like to hear the Okinawan music. And even though they hear the radio station, right, Kizu all the time too. But Yuntaku Live is a really good thing that you guys are doing.
Oh,
thank you very much. And thank you to the parents for following us as well, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're very proud right now watching you.
Thank you. I think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I think this one, guys, we're gonna go long. Just remember, we got lots of stories, but it's okay. That's what Yuntaku is about. So, I think we have another performance coming up for this, right?
Yep. Thank you, Linda.
Get ready.
I think Keith Sensei is going to explain a little bit about the next song, and I believe it's Tanchame.
Yes.
Hi, Keith Sensei.
Hi. Sorry. Our next dance is Tanchame. And this dance is a lively dance that depicts the daily life of the people of Tancha, which is a small fishing village located at the east coast of central Okinawa. The men go out in their boats, and upon their arrival, the women take the fish out to sell. Mr. Nakasone left us a translation of one of the verses in this dance, and it says, "I wish I could go along to Tancha, to be at her side. However, heartlessly, sea of Wania blocked my way." Performing for us this evening is Emily Tome and Miley Tome. They're both Linda's nieces.
Well, thank you very much for the beautiful explanation.
Okay, so
while they get ready.
Oh, that was great. I love to hear that Lisa or Linda. She said, how she said she set it up for her parents. That's great.
Yeah. I wonder if they set it up themselves or it was already set up.
No, I'm sure somebody probably had to go and set it up for them first. But hey,
I could just envision them going on their cell phone and doing the cast on YouTube to their TV. I know a lot of times I've heard feedback that a lot of times their grandchildren or their kids actually help set it up so they can watch it on the TV. Yep. This is a different platform, right? Watch it on YouTube or Facebook. So great way to connect with family. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm set up. You can do a few. I hope for many of you who got your Uchinanchu newspaper in the mail. This goes out to all of our HUOA club members. So as long as you're a member of a club, so far we are able to still print and send this out to you. It's a bi-monthly newspaper that we call the Uchinanchu. So a lot of our news comes out on there, but we also want to let everyone know that our most up-to-date, it's easiest for us to update the website. And so we are actually looking at updating that. sometime soon this year, and making sure that we're keep all of our info up to date on the HUOA.org website. So.
Yep. Thank you very much. I believe they're ready to go now. So tanchame. Yeah. Actually, you know what, Lynn? I think they're getting ready.
Okay.
I'm going to check out their camera, but if you wouldn't mind talking about the donation page real quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the donate page, we've actually had an online donate page for some time, and but we've really had to utilize it more, especially this year. Of course, we always are. It's not just to donate, but it's also a way for you to kind of engage. There's a little place where you can leave a note if you'd like to leave a note, if it's in memory of someone, or if it's in honor of someone that you'd like to give to. We are always open and welcome to any kind of whatever you can give from your heart. I just want to mention that somebody, we've had for Yuntaku Live, we accept anything from $5, but we got somebody just, gave us a $500 donation the other day for saying, just as a deep thank you for all that, I guess HUOA has done for their parents. And they've, especially during these COVID times, have been very, very grateful for that. So mahalo. They did want to rename anonymous, but thank you very much for your donation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lynn, and truly important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe they are ready now. So. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, very good.
Very nice, very nice. And that was
Cool.
Emily and Miley Tome, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like it's Miley's birthday too, according to Facebook. Thank you for letting us know in the comments here.
Happy birthday, Miley.
Miley. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. Oh, that's
And
so
then,
awesome.
and I also got a comment from Joanne Yoon. Good job from cousins Jacelyn and Jasmine on Maui.
Very good, very good.
Thank you for watching all the way from Maui. Okay, I believe they are ready now, so I'm going to bring them up. Hey!
Hi. So
How's
it's
it
Emily and
going?
Miley Tome. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Very good. So tell us about oh, look, you guys. How old you are, each of you, and what school you go to.
I am 12 years old and I go to Iacharya Intermediate School.
Oh, very good.
I am 10 years old and I go to Webbling Elementary School.
Oh, very good. Okay, wait, whose birthday is it? Who's So happy birthday. Thank you for spending your birthday with us.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about when you started. How old were you in these photos here?
I started when I was 4 years old.
Oh, how cute, you guys.
I started around 3.5 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys are definitely, basically toddlers at the time. I'm sure you get plenty of people taking photos of you at Okinawan Festival like this, just like this, yeah. And then tell us some things that you really like about dancing.
I like the different styles of dance that we do. So I like the more energetic kind of dances, but we also do slow dances and there's country dances that we do that I also really enjoy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know and getting all dressed up, it's not easy. And I really, really do appreciate all the work you guys put into practicing, putting the kimono on, getting dressed and everything. So, and I love Tanchame. Tanchame is definitely
One of my favorite songs.
One of our favorite songs for sure. So thank you, Emily and Miley Tome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And now we're going to have, excited to have Keith Oshiro Sensei, yeah?
Yes. So we'll bring Keith on. Keith has been dancing for a really long time. I say that. And we have some really interesting photos, I think. I'm excited to see these too. So what year is this? So Keith, tell us a little bit about your experience and when you started with Nakasone Dance Academy.
I started Odori with Sensei when I was about 6, which is over 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, very good.
At that time, Sensei didn't have, there weren't very many male Okinawan dancers. And so, as a child, my parents often took my grandparents to see all these Okinawa shibai. And I used to mimic these people. And that's when my dad decided, maybe he should go and learn. And the first teacher that he approached, he said, she don't have any male dancers. So if she starts a male class, she'll get in touch with him. But my dad was very impatient. So he happened to see Sensei's, Nakasone Sensei had a huge article in the Hawaii Hochi. And that's how he got into contact with her, and luckily she accepted me as a student.
That's an amazing story. I didn't know that. But I also have in my notes that you are, and I can attest to this, that you are an expert in hair.
not an expert, but yeah, I do the Okinawan karaji hairstyle. I do comb most of their hairs for them, for the performances.
So Keith used to, I mean, for a very long time, I have very typical thick Okinawan hair, and trust me that he takes the brush, right, and he but it's so perfect, after, and then you don't touch it after.
Yes, you don't touch it because we spray it. You're not allowed to yell. You're not allowed to yell when I'm doing your hair.
And it's tight, it's tight, but it's not gonna move, so it's perfect. And tell us a little bit about this apprenticeship award that you got from the Hawaii State Foundation of Culture and the Arts.
Yeah, that was awarded to all three of us, Lisa, Julia, and myself. And it was a 2-year program. And we did 2 seminars. And in each seminar, we covered dance, but slightly different aspects of different dances. One of the things we did in the first seminar was to also talk about the different materials that are used, how it's done, and how kasuri is made. So it was very interesting, even for us.
Yeah, I think it's just one of the things that for people who have never seen Okinawan dance, see it for the first time, is the vibrancy of the costumes. That's really eye-catching. So,
what's really interesting though is a lot of people know bingata. Bingata, originally the colors that were used for that were all herb dyes. So they didn't have any kind of chemical dye. So all the brilliant colors that you saw, they were able to extract from the different barks and plants that they had raised in Okinawa.
Wow.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah, when you think about it, that is amazing, right?
Yeah, so they would have to start by planting these plants and then harvesting them and then process them so that they can get the colors that they're looking for. Yeah, it's a very long process. So even way back in the Shuri Kingdom era, bingata was very expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
I can imagine.
Sure. Well, I also see here in my notes that you studied sanshin.
Yes, I was not good at it, but I
don't know this.
I was lucky enough to have Izumigawa Kaien sensei take me in as a student. And that was very invaluable to odori, because if you know the music, you know how it's played, how it sounds, you can also dance to it so that your timing is not off. And then if you understand the poem, Mr. Nakasone would also give us the translations of the different poems. Then you understand what you're dancing about, and you can, like Sensei says, put your feeling into it.
So true. Did you also learn koto?
Yes.
I have no idea, actually. I've only heard
yes, I learned koto from Kawakami Yoshiko sensei. And she was, to me, was one of the best koto players. She would be able to play songs without following the book. So a lot of times sanshin teachers would have a difficult time playing, because when they're playing sanshin, they're waiting for certain notes to come out of the koto. And it's not only that note, but she would have some other notes to dress it up. And so, she was an incredible koto player. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Such a multi-talented person, Keith sensei.
Yeah.
I learned all this, but I was not good at all of it.
But you're very good at dance, so very
amazing.
Very with that one, yeah. So thank you so much. I know that we also kind of, your voice is kind of the Nakasone Dance Academy voice that we hear for Okinawa Festival and, emceeing and stuff like that. So I think our next performance, we have Chimuganasa.
Yeah.
I think, and if you would mind explaining a little bit about Chimuganasa.
Sure. Chimu in Okinawan means heart. Ganasa, which is a word derived from the Okinawan word kanasa, meaning love. So this song, Chimuganasa, means my true love or love from the bottom of my heart. This dance was choreographed by Shihang Sensei Lisa Nakasone Nakandakari for over 15 years ago. This will be performed by Kyoshi Linda Asato and Shihang Julia Nakasone Okamura.
All
right. Thank you very much, Ki Sensei. As the performance gets ready, we'll talk about a quick update.
Yes. Okay.
Some amazing photos. While we're waiting, I'd like to share some photos that this is from the 2017 recital. Yeah.
There you go.
Let me cue it up.
That was the last recital they had. But for those of you who've never gone to a kind of Okinawan dance recital before, like we said, the colors on stage and it's just absolutely stunning. A lot of these classical Ryukyu dance costumes are really vibrant.
And here's a good example over here.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. I want to know who their photographer is.
Yeah, no, these photos are beautiful.
They take some amazing photos, but this recital, I remember, I was there and I was so impressed with the performance and the energy and then the colors.
Oh, and Courtney reminds us too here on Face. Oh, wow, look at that photo. That Lisa, Julia, and Keith performed for their Imperial Highness, the Princess and Prince Akishino, when they visited in Hawaii in 2018. That was during, I think, the Children's Day Camp. They came to the Okinawa Center to visit, and that was a very, very big deal. So I wanted to
thank you very much, Courtney.
Those photos are.
It's just amazing photos. I love it.
Yeah.
And Linda Sensei, Keith Sensei.
So beautiful.
Okay. Believe they're just about ready.
Okay. I'm so Thank you
Wow.
to Julia
Amazing.
and Linda. Thank you so much.
Linda senses. Wow, so beautiful, yeah?
Yes. I think the whistle and the samba.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And I love the heishi too.
what a lot of us are missing right now. So it's like, as soon as you hear it, it kind of makes you want to jump up and dance. So thank you so much, Keith Sensei and Shimugana-sa, for explaining all of that, our interview with him, and then Julia and Linda for coming on. So I don't know if they're ready yet, but our next we want to bring on, last but not least, right? Lisa.
Lisa Nakandakari sensei.
Yep. Are they ready?
Yep, she is ready.
Okay.
Hi,
Hello.
Lisa sensei.
Hi. How are you? Welcome back. So we're so thankful to that we're able to do this with you guys. I know, like you said, you had been watching the other shows, and I'm so glad that we can now, at least, it's less than 10 of you, right? Bring you to Okinawa Center so we could have this set up for all of you guys. So thank you again for showing us today. And look at this beautiful photo of you.
It's an awesome picture.
That photo is when I was about 6 years old, and it was a shinnenkai at Daikokutei. If anybody remembers Daikokutei, that's where all the shinnenkais were held back then, way back then.
Oh.
Wow.
Was it in town or?
Yes. It's on Beretania Street. It was on Beretania Street, the old Truman carriage area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
an awesome picture of you.
So tell us a little bit about your, I know, especially for you, I think we've talked to you a lot of our Kempe Scholarship alumni, and I know that you're one of our first. Are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the earlier ones. Yeah.
1980. I happened to be in Dr. Sakihara's Okinawa history class, and he had announced it. It was the first time, and he just said if anybody's interested, see him after class. So I did. I went up to him and I said, I'm really interested. Please give me some information. So we went from there, and I received that scholarship and went and had a wonderful experience and time. It was the first time away from my family, so like I had to, basically do everything from laundry to catch the bus, and go to dance practice and so forth. So it was a really time for me to grow up, I think. Yeah, I took a year off from UH from my junior to senior year. I took a break in my UH education, and I went to Okinawa to study. It was a 1-year scholarship, and I wanted to stay there a little bit longer, so I stayed one more semester and came back after that. Yeah.
But like so many people, I'm sure, life-changing experience.
Very life-changing. My whole view of, what my responsibility. I always knew that, my mother wanted me to continue dancing and all of that, but it changed my life in that now I wanted to do it. Because I just experienced a whole different level of responsibility and just the love of the Okinawan culture.
Right.
They're so wonderful people, and the music and the dance and all of that. So I came back with a more deeper appreciation, and I guess it was from me now I want to teach. Yeah.
Oh, that is a precious, precious photo here.
It's Joanna when she was about 4 years old, I think, backstage. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I remember Joanna this age too. So, yeah. Oh, this is precious.
That's a beautiful picture.
Think, like you said, and I think for many of our young people, what we want to do is, of course, a lot of us kind of start, dance because our parents made us or whatever. But I think there's a point in life where it becomes your own, right? You do it because you want to do it, and it becomes something that you're not being forced to do this anymore. It's something that you want to do. And so I'm happy to see a lot of our, like Joanna too. I'm sure, there's a point when it probably became her own too, right? It's not just something she's doing because mom and grandma do it, but really happy to see that it's continuing.
He's a wonderful man, and he's into Okinawan dance as well. Learns from
really good too.
Shows his guidance. So they have common interests in that respect, and so I think they can they support each other. He supports our studio, we support their studio, and so forth. So we're very happy.
Yes. So Joanna and Brent, for those of you who don't know, Brent Arakaki is also wonderful Okinawan dancer.
Yeah.
Power dance couple, I always say.
Power dance couple, yeah. Power dance couple. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your family story with us today. A lot of us look up to you, and I think I'm sure there's a lot of feeling of responsibility, but I'm also so glad that we do have people like you in our community to kind of carry on these traditions. And I thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. And we'd like to call everybody back on stage. And
yes,
very happy to be here today. And we look forward to your continued support of our dance academy and for the future recitals that we will be holding. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Kyou wa otsukaresama deshita. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. It's so wonderful to see, and especially the young ones too. I think it's so exciting for all of us, and we're hoping to we record these, and we're going to share them with future generations as well. So just wanted to say thank you again for sharing really this deepness of the culture that you guys are holding and perpetuating for the future. So thank
you very much, senseis. And real quick, congratulations again. And I know in 2018, all three of you were awarded the Legacy Award. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Our HUOA Legacy Award, and another award, right? That that we want to.
Very honored. Thank you.
Previously, we had honored Nakasone Sensei. I forget what year it was, but we did want to honor you guys too. So, and I'm sure we couldn't just do one of you, so we did all three of you. So thank you again for letting us honor you
Thank
too.
you so
I think it's very important for us to be able to say thank you and to uplift our cultural arts and performing arts people in our community. So thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much again.
you.
And then happy birthday, Miley.
Happy
Take
birthday.
care. Yeah.
Okay. Dejavu?